Hello everyone, I'm Heather and it is Independent Bookshops Week here in the UK, which of course meant that I needed to go support my local bookshops, and I have done that. So this video is a haul. Oh my gosh, it's got quite sunny all of a sudden. This is Wales, what does it think it's doing, being sunny? Okay, so I got 4 books and 4 graphic novels from my stints about town. I stopped at a couple of independent bookstores, including the one on the corner by me where the guy is super nice and he's nice to my kid and he always remembers us. Anyway, so the first one is Stillicide by Cynan Jones. Cynan Jones is a Welsh author and I really liked his one called Cove about a fisherman. And he writes quite sort of poetic type prose, where it's sort of formatted quite differently on the page and everything, and it's gorgeous. His writing is absolutely gorgeous and just makes you think a lot about sort of what's going on in the situation. So this particular one is a sort of post-apocalypse sort of situation, where water is commodified and it's a water train or something that goes through all the time, and it's constantly under attack, or it's in danger of attack because of the sort of shortage of water and everything. And then something happens and there's loads of protests, and you see it from a bunch of different people's perspectives, like a nurse, a marksman, a dying boy, or a dying woman, a boy following a stray dog out of the city. And it says, from one of the most celebrated writers of his generation, Stillicide is a moving story of love and loss and the will to survive, and a powerful glimpse of the tangible future. I quite like that. I stopped reading quite apocalyptic type books because of the pandemic, but I loved them before and I feel like I'm now back into them, so it's okay. The next one I saw, this author has a new one out. And sort of because the new one is out, they've been talking a lot about the one that they published before. So I thought, oh, before I read the new one, I'll read the one that made them, quite acclaimed in the first place. So it is Breasts and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami. So this one is, I think, 3 women. So it's the main character and her older sister, and also her older sister's daughter. And they're living together, I think, and the older woman is having a hard time dealing with the loss of her youth and her sort of beauty and everything, and she's chasing down breast augmentation and stuff like that. And then 8 years pass and we meet the main character again. And it says, a radical and intimate portrait of contemporary working class womanhood, Breasts and Eggs recounts the heartbreaking journeys of 3 women in a society where the odds are stacked against them. Quite like that. The new one that has just come out by the author is Heaven, I think, about kids that are bullied. And that one did look quite good, but I think I'll start with this one first and then make sure I like the author before I sort of work my way up. Okay, so the next one is Highway Blue by Ailsa McFarlane. So the first thing I actually noticed about this one is the author was born in Seattle, where I'm from, and raised in Snowdonia in Wales, where I live now. So I don't live in Snowdonia, but I do live in Wales. And I feel just that alone, that sort of weird connection to the author would make me get this book. But the book does actually sound really good anyway. So the top, hypnotic, stylish, cinematic, I don't know, one of those movies about sort of road trips through America or whatever. Anyone who's actually American and been on a road trip in America, I think the glamour of it wears off quite quick. One butt cheek is asleep and you've just got a bunch of empty chip packets next to you and you gotta pee. Anytime you go through Wyoming, you get stopped by police because it's impossible not to speed in Wyoming, things like that. But I'm still, despite knowing exactly what a road trip in America is actually I still get caught up in the glamorous sort of Hollywood view of things like that. I don't know. Anyway, this one is about Anne-Marie and Cal, and I think they used to be married, or they're still married now but estranged, and there's some sort of accidental crime which causes them to have to go on some sort of long and lonely road trip across America. So I quite like the idea of it, and I was sort of reading through it a bit, and I quite like the author's writing style. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so the next one I've never even heard of, but randomly picked up because it was sort of on a little, stand-up thingy. and it's by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan, called The Hollow Ones. So this one is an FBI agent, and she has to kill her partner when the partner starts acting really weird and violent and aggressive or whatever, and he like comes for her, whatever, and she has to shoot him. And then when he dies, this like figure like emerges from his body and runs away. She's like, oh my god, she's haunted by that, and she's like on administrative leave or whatever because she shot her partner. So then she like takes on this other like project to clean out an old agent's desk or something like that, and she discovers something about some sort of like spirit or entity that never dies. It's like some sort of immortal being or something. What she finds there puts her on the trail of a mysterious figure who claims to have been alive for centuries and who is either an unhinged lunatic or humanity's best and only defense against unspeakable evil. Yes, friends, I am here for that. Okay, so then the other 4 that I got are graphic novels, which I've been getting really into. Like, I did sort of all of January, I was like, this is graphic novels month for me, and that was a really good month. And then I sort of passed out of that, and for the last couple months I haven't really read any of them, but it's a shame because I feel like I should do that a lot more. Okay, so the first one is The Sad Ghost Club by Lize Meddings. So like it's quite like black and white and like sort of traditional sort of like cartoon squares and everything, but I think it's about a depressed ghost. It says, this is not a sad story, though it begins with a struggle and anxious swirling thoughts, but sometimes even the worst of days can surprise you. I think it's like about a ghost sort of going through anxiety and like depression and stuff. I feel like this is going to deeply speak to me on like several levels, and I'm pretty excited about that. I might read that today, like I can't even tell you. Okay, so the next one I actually found through this readathon that I'm sort of doing, called the Reading Europe 2021 readathon or something with Mark at Book Time with Elvis. So he sort of set it up to where it runs along the football, the Euros, like soccer football championship going on at the minute. So you get a country and then you follow that country, and then every time your country loses you read something to do with the country that beat you. So annoyingly, Italy, the country that I drew, is on like a winning streak. They're doing fantastic, which normally would be fine, but because I wanted to do the readathon in order to lose a lot, in order to read loads of books, it's sort of like messed it up for me. But when I was sort of going through them originally, sort of like trying to figure out who they might lose to and at what stage of the competition, I was looking at different books that I could read for different countries, and I found loads of them. Like, I won't end up reading them for that readathon for the reason that I said, but they still sound really good, and I got one of them anyway, even though it won't actually be part of the readathon. And it's a French author and artist, and it's Beautiful Darkness by Fabien, Vehlmann and Kerascoët. Oh dear god. Someone who like knows this stuff and like has, you know, French thoughts, let me know how to say that. When I originally sort of saw this one, it looked really cute, like cute little fairies running around and everything. And then as I was sort of reading more into it and sort of like investigating, it turns out it's proper horror, folks. Which I love. And like loads of things on the back are like really dark, like Tezuka meets Moomin, casual cruelty and betrayal set in a gorgeous watercolor graphic novel. So I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Just, you know, random cute people in like a horrific, creepy horror graphic novel. Which, with my mood at the minute, I can't even tell you how much that's right on my street. Okay. The next one looks really good. It's called Dead Endia by Hamish Steele, The Watcher's Test. So this is like a cute one. It takes place in a theme park, you know, or like a carnival type thing called Dead Endia. But it turns out to be more than it seems, obviously. Barney needs a job and a place to live. Luckily, he finds both in Dead End, a theme park haunted house. Unfortunately, Dead End also serves as a portal to hell. So, you know, as you do, sometimes that happens, you know. And also there's like a cute dog character. It's giving me sort of like Scooby-Doo vibes, you know, like when the band of friends and their dog go to the haunted theme park to solve a mystery. So, excitement. Okay, last one is amazing. It is the graphic novel version of Kindred by Octavia Butler. So I'm not going to tell you like my whole sob story about how I got thrown off my place at the library for this book, okay? And why I refused to buy it, because I'm still perpetually next on the list for this at the library, even though COVID has just messed it up. I'm not going to give you my sob story. I'm just going to let you know I refused to buy the actual book, but I desperately want to read the book because everyone says it's amazing. But now I found the graphic novel, so even if I end up getting the book from the library, I can still read that book and also read this one now, okay? Because they're two different things. So it's based on this book where this woman in 1970s California, I think. Yes. So she's a black writer, Dana, in 1970s California, and something happens to like a time warp or something. She ends up going back in time. She can't explain how she's transported across time and space to a plantation in Maryland, but she does quickly understand why, to deal with the troubles of Rufus, a conflicted white slaveholder, her progenitor. And it looks fierce and so incredible. Like, look, wait, at the art, you know. Like, holy shit, this is going to be the best time. Also, if you look at this, I haven't seen this anywhere, but apparently this is a thing. Also, the graphic novel version of Parable of the Sower, another one that I want to read. So I might just get that as well and just have like a marathon go of things. Anyway. So that is my haul. Happy Independent Bookstore Week to everyone. Let me know if you are getting in there as well, getting into your independent bookstores and the things that you have found while you're there. If you have any comments about any of these, you know, love it, hate it, have thoughts, please let me know. I definitely, you know, if anyone feels like I should start with a particular one, I will take that into account because that's good, solid intel. Any thoughts at all, really, like even just random musings. Oh, shite. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.